Hi Rockstars, welcome back to my channel. On today's tutorial, we'll be having a lovely moment together. And for those of you that are joining for the first time, you are welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So get your tools and let's get into practical. So on this kaftan, Bubu, you can call it kaftan or Bubu, we'll be needing this measurement and the formula. So on this shoulder, for the shoulder, we'll be using 15 inches, the sleeve 9 plus 1 inches for the M allowance at the edge part of the sleeve, and the pleat will be 2.5 inches, but while cutting it on the fabric will be taking measurements, it will be 5 inches. So by the time we fold it, it will result to 2.5, and from the shoulder to the chest line will be 9 inches plus one. That's, yeah, plus one. You add me. That's because it is, we want the that part to be free. That is why we'll be adding 1 inch for the freeness of it. And for the shoulder to the waistline will be 17 inches, and we'll be also be adding 1 inch to that 17 to make it 18 inches. Pardon me, that will be, I'll be needing to do some correction on this measurement I wrote down here. This measurement was meant for another another style, but pardon me that I'll be using it and I'll be doing the correction, but don't panic. Yeah, don't panic. We're still on track. So as you can see, I'll be doing some corrections, but just follow your own measurement, follow the procedure, follow the cutting procedure, the explanation, and you get the right result. So for the bust measurement, circumference here is 36. I wrote plus 6, but sorry, it will be divided by 4, not plus 6. Again, the bust circumference is 36 and I wrote plus 6. This measurement is not meant for this bobo, for this style of bobo. It is plus 6. Yeah, the plus 6 I meant is not for this style, and it is even a mistake. The plus 6 will be for, it will be the plus 6 will be added to the hip side. Why? Yeah, because we'll be using the hip measurement among this bust circumference, waist circumference, and the hip circumference. Hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, the bust circumference will be divided by 4, and the waist circumference, which is 31, I think, it will be divided by 4 too, and the hip measurement will be 38 divided, the circumference will be 38 divided by 4, then plus 6. Why I'm showing you the bust circumference and the waist circumference is not because we're going to use it on this while we are drafting or while we are taking the measurements on the fabric, but because I want you to know while the measurements we will be using among the three circumference. But for the dress length, it will be 53 plus 2 inches for the folding allowance at the M side. The M side means at the down part, the fold part of it at the down, fold the part where you fold at the down of your dress will be 2 inches for the folding. So 53 plus 2. So the next wideness will be 3 inches plus 1 inch. I said plus, sorry. The neck wideness will be 3 inches by 1 inches length. That is, the wideness will be 3. The length of the neck line will be 1 inch. Yeah, do you understand me? Or I come again. 3 for the wideness for the neck line, for how wide the neck will be, and the length will be 1 inch. So let's get into the cutting process. So, well, first, to fold your fabric, on your fabric will needing the length measurement, which mine is 53 plus 2 inches for the M. But for the cutting, for the drafting, I mean for the drafting, will be needing any of any of the measurement, your circumference measurement that is wide, the long, the highest number, which is, I don't know, let me explain it the way you understand. The bust measurement is 36, and the waist, my waist is 31, the hip is 38. Definitely the 38, which is the hip, is the most eye number, which we'll be using to draft it. But for the folding, this side, no, don't use this side. This side of your fabric is the length of your fabric, while the other side, it is the yard you purchase. Some call it yard, like my country, Nigeria, and some countries call it meter. It depends. The meter you purchase from the store is where you'll be taking the measurements of your, yeah, this side will be, this side is the 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 yard or the meter I purchase. That is where you'll be taking the measurements of your length, which mine is 53 plus 2 inches. Yeah, again, should I come again for you to understand? I always do this explanation here on how to cut out your fabric for you to understand and for you to know the yards or the meters of the fabric you'll be using or you'll be purchasing at the market or at the store. This make me to always explain this part very well. But for me, I think I'll be using like, I think 3.5 for this actual measurements of my clients. 3.5 or 4. Let me say 4 because of the design at the front that we'll be doing. So, anyways, I just took the measurement of 53 plus 2, which will be 55. So at that left side of mine, that is it. I took it. Then you fold it. I had to fold it after taking the 55 measurement. That is 53 plus 2, 55. I have to fold it into two to match each other. That is 50. Folding of two, just the normal process of you folding your fabric for your normal dress, for your skirt, or for your skirt, sorry, for your skirt or for your whatever, or for your sleeve. It's usually into four. But first you fold it, you take your measurements from your fabric, then you fold it into two. Then I'll, as you can see, I folded it into two. Now I'll place it on my table for you to see. Then I'll fold it again into two to make it four. So right now my fabric is folded into four. You can see that. So you can just use pin to hold it together if it's a fabric like this Kampala. Meanwhile, I'm using Kampala fabric for this production. So right now the sleeve, which is the 15 inches, will be divided into two. For mine will be 7.5 inches. I'm taking the 7.5 inches right here without adding any inches to it, unlike the normal dress measurements we always mark or we always draft. So after which I'll be taking the pleat measurement, which is the pleat wideness, which is 2.5. So see, let me explain this place very well for you. I am using 2.5, then plus 2.5 again. That is times two. Plus 2 or times 2 will be 5, which I'll be taking measurements of 5 inches here on my fabric or on whatever you're drafting it on your pattern or anything. Why? Because by the time I fold it into two, it will result to 2.5. And note that in your own case, you can use 6 inches while you're drafting it. By the time you fold it into two, by the time you finish the sewing, it will be 3 inches, of course, for the wideness. You can use even 8 inches. You can use less than what I used. But for mine, because of the length of the fabric and the fabric, actually I have to use for the because of the length of the fabric. There are some lengths it is by 60, by 45, by or not even up to 45. But because of the length, I have to manage the fabric here for my clients. So that this is why I have to use 5 inches, which the result is so fantabulous. At the end, it was so lovely using 5 inches, or you use 4 inches for the drafting. By the time if you use 4, by the time you finish your sewing of the pleat, it will be 2 inches. But like I said, because of the length of my fabric, I have to use 5. So after taking the measurement of your shoulder divided by 2, which mine is 7.5 at the end, I chalked it, I marked or mark it. Then from that mark, I took measurement of 5 inches for my pleat. Then from there, I took the sleeve measurement from the 5 inches marked. I took the sleeve measurement, which is 9 inches plus 1, which is 10. I'm doing it again for you to understand. Yeah, here is the sleeve divided by 2. 7.5 inches, I chalked. Then from that 7.5 inches, I took measurement of my pleat, the wideness of my pleat, which is 5 inches. Remember, I said by the time I finish sewing it, it should be 2.5. So that's the 5 inches here. So when you take the measurement, you chop it as well, right? Yeah. So from there, from that 5 inches I chopped, I'll be taking my sleeve measurement, which is 10. Yeah. Why is it 10? Because it's 9 inches but plus 1. I'm taking the 10 right there. You take it out. And mind you, the folded part of your fabric has to be at your side. So I'm taking all this measurement from the folded part of my fabric, not the open area. So that's it. And I chopped it. Am I communicating? That's the sleeve there. From that 5 inches to the edge, there is the sleeve. And if your sleeve is more than 10, there are some clients that are taller or that want the length longer than this. We do that video in another video. I'll explain in another video how to go on your folding of your fabric. So anyways, right here, let's continue. Right here, I'll be taking from my shoulder to the chest measurement, which mine on this fabric will be 9 inches. Not the same inches with the sleeve. It just happened that it's 9 inches plus 1 also, which is 10, because we are making Bubu. We are making Kaftan, which is 10. I added 1 inches. Whatever you're getting for your shoulder, take the measurement of your shoulder to your chest line, then add 1 inch. Then I chopped it all through the end of my fabric. Then I mark it and rule it out. As you can see, it is ruled already. I chopped it and I mark it. So from the shoulder to the chest, to the waistline too, as well. Mine is 17 inches plus 1. You remember, it makes it 18. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm chalking 18. I chalk or mark 18 right now. I chalk it at the side there, at the edge part, and at my side here. As you can see, I'm chalking it, then I'll rule it out. That's it there. As you can see, I've chalked the 18 inches, that from up the shoulder part, the starting point, which is the shoulder part, to the waistline. Then I'll rule it out. It is so easy. Sewing is fun. Sewing it's a passion. It's easy. You just have to know the formula, how to go about it. When you watch this video, you get it. So right now, I'll be taking measurements of my neckline, which is 3 for the wideness and 1 inches for the length, which I've taking right here, and I'm cuffing it, I'm connecting it together. You can use your cuff ruler at the other part, but I just have to use free hand. If you can use free hand, just use whatever your cuff ruler. So you now come to your bust circumference, waist circumference, hip circumference. The one that is bigger, the largest part, which is my hip circumference, which is 38 divided by 4, is what I'll be using at this chest line area. Divided by 4, whatever I get, I mark it there. That's what you see me that I just that is what you see me doing right now, or what I've done already right now. I chalked it. You can see that's what I chalked there. Then I will have to add 6 inches to it after chalking, not adding 6 inches to my measurement. Yeah, should I come back to the explanation? The most widest part is the hip circumference of my client, of this project. So 30 is 38 divided by 4. I mark it there. Whatever I get, I mark it there. I chalk, I mark it there. Then from that mark, I added 6 inches. So now all together, whatever I get all together there is what I'll be using all through to the down. That is, it is what I'll be using from there to my waistline. Whatever is, as you can see, from whatever I get there, whatever is the measurement is to all together there is what I'll be placing here, and I'll chalk that part as well. Then I'll go to the M area, that's the length, the patakata, the length area. I'll chalk it as well with the same measurements. I'll chalk it. That's what you see me doing there right now. Then I will take my straight ruler. Pardon me, my ruler is broken already, like I said, for long, and I have not been to the market ever since, but I promise to get another one. Then I rule it on a straight line. That's connecting it together on a straight line. Then I'll go to my sleeve edge, the edge of my sleeve. Then I'll rule that on a straight line to join the line, to join that long line that I drafted for the shoulder to the waistline. Yeah, from that side, I connected it, but on a straight line to join each other. Can you now see that we are getting the shape of our bubu already? But for this armhole side, it's called armhole in fashion, but for our new beginners, you can call it armpit. I will have to give it a curve shape, which from the inner part of that side, I will take measurements of 1 inch outward, and I'll connect it together this way. Trust me, sewing is lovely. Sewing is what I love doing. I derive joy in doing. I love it. So you will love it too. It's all about passion. When you already have passion for something, aside from, so you have passion for something, you go into it, you put more effort, you do your research on others, then you learn, you will know how to do it. It will be fun. So after that, you can see I've joined it. I will have to cut out the next side. Then right now, I've cut out the next side, which was 3 wide for the wideness and 1 inches for the length. Now let's go into the cutting of the shape. We'll follow the shape of the bubu itself, or of the dress. You can call it dress, but you can't really call this dress. You can just call it a bubu dress or a kaftan dress. So we'll follow the shape by cutting it out. It's so easy. Forget any other drafting that you are seeing at the side of the bubu. That's for another tutorial entirely. Forget it. I was doing a tutorial for my students. Yeah, that was why I draft that. So don't worry about that. Right now, you can see I've cut from down up, and you can start from up, which is from the sleeve area. Just follow the way I'm cutting that, and you get a good result, and you'll be happy. You can do this for yourself first, then for your clients, or for your, if you're a man or a guy, you can do it for your sister, your mother, your woman, it's fun. So after that, you will need to notch this side. What is notching? Notching is like cutting a side, cutting it in a very tiny way, just a pitch of it. But if you can also do it by chalking it. But you see this sleeve side, you will have to cut it, which is called notch. You will have to notch that sleeve side. Why? Yeah, because you will need it for when you're trying to get the pleats area. But for the next side, you can just chalk it. So after chalking from the next side, you will just, from that neckline, you will just take the measurements. You can just mark. That is what I was doing at the side. I was marking where I was marking my 5 inches for the plates, and I divided it into two. Am I communicating? Okay, you will get that right now. Let me open this, the fabric. This is the wrong side, and I turn it to the right side, because you'll be doing this split area at the right side of your fabric. Again, at the right side of your fabric, all you just have to do is fold the fabric, turn it to the right side, and fold it into two, by making sure your sleeve match each other. Your sleeve will be together, both sleeve. the right sleeve and the left sleeve, and you have to let your folding be in this way. But before doing that, you before folding your fabric or turning it to the other side, you can just give it a good iron for you to get this shape, this line at the sleeve and the shoulder parts. This line in my country, Nigeria, sorry, we call it gators. For you to get this gator, this line, because the line is gonna help you, trust me, for your plate and for the finishing of your bubu. So from this side anyway, from the sleeve area, just take the measurements. After folding it this way, you have to get this folding for you to get what I'm trying to achieve here. From that sleeve, the edge of your sleeve, take the measurements. I'll be taking the measurement of my 10, which is 9 plus 1 of my sleeve. It's not the same thing with the 9 plus 1 for the shoulder to the sleeve, to the chest waist. No, it's not the same. It's different. So when you chalk it on the right side of your fabric, then from that chalk area, from that 10, I'll be taking inward again. I'll be taking 5 inches, which I will now divide into two. When I take that 5 inches, I'll mark it, then I'll divide it into two on my tape rule, the way it is, without removing my tape rule, which will be 2.5. I'll chop the 2.5 to give me the middle part of that 5, which will be the 2.5 for my pleat. See, this thing is easy because you see that part from the sleeve, from where I chop for the sleeve. You remember I said from that point where you chop your sleeve inward, you will take a measurement of 5 inches inward, which I am using 5 inches. From that 5 inches, you divide it into two, which is 2.5. For you to know how to fold it into two, just watch what I'm doing. But from that 5 inches, you will take measurement of 5 inches downward. The 5 inches is not the same thing as the 5 inches wideness I want. The 5 inches is just coincident. Let me use the word coincident. You might want yours to be, that is the 5 inches I'm drafting, I'm marking downward, is where I want the pleats to end in sewing. Yeah. Yours might be 8 inches for the wideness of your pleats and 5 inches for where the pleats will stop, the sewing will stop. And it might be vice versa. It might be anything. It's your preference. It's the way you prefer. I did that and I came to the other side of the fabric too, not the wrong side, not the wrong side, the other side of the fabric too. I did the same thing. Do you understand? Or should I explain again? At the edge, at the place where I marked my sleeve, where my sleeve stopped, the 10 inches, I marked 5 inches inward again. From that 5, I divided it into two, which give me the middle point of my pleat, the middle point. So from that 5 that I marked inward, I marked downward at my right hand 5 inches. I did the same thing at my left side downward. So that division I did at that 5 that make it two, that gave me 2.5, is that place I'm holding right now. It will be the middle of my pleat, which I'll be folding in. There are like three method of doing this. You can fold it in this way and just iron it. That middle point, that middle where the 2.5 and 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 connected together. That's where I'm holding up at that side. So the chalk area of that side where you took measurement, where the sleeve ended, the mark of your sleeve ended, where you marked your sleeve inward, and where you marked 5, where your sleeve ended, and from that place you remember you took measurement of 5 inward. So you now use your finger to bring it together to make that 2.5. Opening it is 5, but folding it together with your finger will be 2.5. This is what I was explaining the other time. It will be 5 downward for man, You can see that's it there, the 5 downward and the 5 downward. Right hand 5 downward, left hand 5 downward. That was what I did at the other side of the fabric too. But for you to understand, that's why I'm ruling it out of the fabric. Yeah, I told you there are like 3 different methods of you getting this pleats at this area, which I'll be explaining to you right now. The first method is you can just iron that middle, that one up middle where you got the middle of that 5. You can just iron it to give you, if it was me, I'll just go to my machine and sew. But for our beginners and those who don't understand, you can just take a pin and pin that side. Do you know that side? That side you you took measurement of 5 inwards to where your neck is, your neckline is. You can just pin it together after folding it in. By the time you fold it in, your sleeve is in, is under. So the first you can just iron it and go to your machine to sew. But for, like I said, for our beginners, you might not understand how to get that pleats. The second one is to use your needle, your pins to pin it down. So this is the part you'll be sewing. This part. From that mark, I took measurement of 5 downward, right hand side, left hand side, 5 downward. From, you remember, from that 5 inches, where my 5 inches end for my plate, you that's where you'll be sewing. You do the same thing here too. The first method of that plate is ironing it, the middle, the 2.5 inches middle, the middle part of that 5, which is 2.5. Measure, you can iron it, or you can pin it, or you can just chalk it all down and go to your machine, or you can just do it off, and as you just do many method. So you, after that is when you go to your machine quickly to sew it from that where I said 5 inches right and left downward. You should sew it to where you chop, not to your to the length of your dress. This is me after sewing it. You can see what is giving the rich auntie dress already. It's giving the rich aunties Kaftan or Bubu already. This style is so simple, like ABC 1, 2, 3, like bread and butter. You can see that chopped area there. That was where I stopped my sewing. Just stop your sewing there. See, this style is so easy and so beautiful when you wear it or when you sew it, because it will be as if you are wearing, my Nigerian people will understand what I mean by agbada. It should be as if you are wearing a kind of two dress together, one in and one out. So that's for that. You've gotten your plates that way. Now let's go back. Now let's go to the neckline of the front side. Remember we did 3 inches for both front and back, 3 inch, while our fabric was on four pieces on fold. We did 3 inches inward, 1 inches length. So right now, when you go back to the folding, the way you folded it when you're doing the pleat, so you just go from the sleeve. This is will be our front side. From the, I said, from the pleat, from the edge of your neckline, I took measurement of 12. You can use 13, 15, 14, but because my client doesn't want it to, the neckline, the opening to be too much for the neckline, so I took 12 inches, I think. Then inward, I just took like, I think, 2.5 or 2, or as you prefer. It's your preference. Then I connected it to that neckline and I cut it out. It doesn't stop there, yeah. Then from that, that look like triangle, the side that look like triangle, you take measurement of 1 inch inward all through down to the M, this time to the M. After you might have cut that side, I did this for you to understand the cutting of the neck. If it is for me, I'll just cut it all together. But I want you to understand, from that place, you connect it again to that 1 inch. Am I communicating? Yeah. From that triangle, you will have to take measurement of 1 inch inward. Then you take it like that, like that, like that to the down of your dress, to the length. Then you rule it on a straight line. Then from that triangle, that shape, you will just connect it to your neckline again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then you will shape it with your chalk. Then now we are ready to cut it out. Cut it the way that shape is from down the length of your dress. So you now take whatever you cut out, you go to that length part, that end part, that the down part of your dress where you've cut out, the one you cut out. You will now take measurement. You remember we took measurement of 1 inch all through down. So by the time you open what you cut out, it will be 2 inches. Trust me. Yeah. Do it and get back to me. It will be 2 inches. But you now need another fabric, either another different fabric or from the remaining of your fabric to cut 5 inches out. Remember, by the time you open that whatever you cut out, it was 2 inches. The 1 inches you cut out, it was 2 inches. But because you'll be joining it with the fabric, whatever you cut from another fabric, you'll be joining it to your dress. So you will need 5 inches to cut out from another fabric. But before we go into that, let's this side, let's go to the sleeve area. The sleeve area, you remember we'll be folding at the end of the sleeve, we'll be folding 1 inch, which I'm doing right now. You, if you are, I'm doing all this because of our beginners. You take 1 inch measurement inward, then you fold tiny, very little from that same 1 inch, then you fold it in. Then you go to your machine to sew it straight. That's for the sleeve. You're done with the sleeve. Now come back to the front of your dress, which you cut 1 inch out. Wife unfold, open your dress and take the measurement all round, all through, all round, from the start from the down of of your dress, the end, the down part of it. Just measure it round to the neck, and to the neck again, all round to the other side of the, that's for the front where you cut, not the side of your dress. Take the measurement all round like this. Whatever you get is what you'll be using to cut out the long, let me call it rope, the long pieces from another fabric. You can use another fabric for this parts that I'm showing you. It's, see, fashion is creative, is being creative, is creativity. You can use another fabric for this rope, for this long pin. Whatever you get in that measurement is what you'll be cutting out at your length. You can use another fabric entirely to give it a kind of design when you cut it out, but the wideness would be 5 inches because I cut out 1 inch. From it, you remember that 1 inch at the side all through down that I cut. When I open it, it was 2 inches. So the wideness of this fabric is 5 because I'll be joining it to the clothes. The joining tool will chop it, will take from it. So at this part you see me taking measurement is where I want the dress to open. This is not the dress, but don't worry, you will understand. This rope, this long piece, I want the real dress to be open like 12 inches or 15 inches. As you want it open, you can even want it to be 20, to open to your laps, to your whatever. Just take the measurement from the down. By taking this rope, this piece, it will be very long. You can join it. It will be very long. It is according to the length that you measured the other time around. So you fold it into two and iron it first. It will also bring out the gaiters, what I call gaiters, the line. So you now, from down, I want it opened. So I chalk where I want it to open. You just chalk it at the middle. Then from up here, your desire neckline, where how you want the neck to be open is what I'm doing right now. At the middle also I chalked it. You can see it is at the middle, not to the each edge of the end of the pieces. It's at the middle. So I'll follow that line at the middle. That line, when I iron it, the line that it gives, I'll follow it and I'll go to my machine and just sew it down to where I want the opening of my real dress to be, that I took measurements on this piece of fabric. Are you getting me? Yeah, I'll just sew it from that up where I chop for the neckline, where I want on this, not on the dress. I'll sew it all through. to where I want. And if you don't want an opening for your own kaftan, you can just sew it down to the length of that rope or this piece. After which I'll take it, I'll notch the middle part of it at the up. Then I'll go to my dress and notch the middle part of the neckline as well, and just join it together. Let the notch part of this rope and the notch part of my dress to join each other. Then you can just pin it down, of which I also pin it down. Even as this area, this part doesn't matter if you're professional or not. You have to take your needle to pin it down. So you just take, after pinning it down to make it accurate, to make the neck side to be accurate, then you each fold will be in two. After the middle part, you can see that rope, that thing I call rope or a piece is in two. Just fold it. You can see, just take the each two parts and sew it together with the bodies, with the line, the open side of your dress. Then you are done at that part. That's the opening part. I was telling you, I want the real dress to be open at the down part. So you just sew it all through, all around the way you take through the measurement before, just sew it around. So you're done. So this is the part where you will now go back to your sleeve hem, where you folded in. You can see I folded it, the 1 inches I folded. Just take the measurements of your 9 inches now. Yeah, that this is where you take the measurement of your 9 plus 1 or 9 inches, or whatever you want, how you want the sleeve, around sleeve, the sleeve to be wide. You just sew from there, take the measurement and chop, and just sew all through down to the down part. After then is when you now come to your hem side, the down part of your bubu, and just fold your 2 inches. You remember on my length it was 53 plus 2. You fold the 2 inches and we are done. Thank you for watching, and I'll be expecting your own practical. Love you all.